The most important job of childhood is discovery of self and the world through play, exploration, and trust and safety. But for parentified kids, the most important thing is always survival, and they do that by adapting traits that are not necessarily their natural traits. You might think a kid is mature and patient and responsible. Meanwhile, they have no choice but to be, because if they drop the ball, their caregivers don't pick it up. The thing about parentified kids is that they are externally referenced. They're always looking outwards. What do the adults and caregivers need from them? What do their siblings need from them? What's happening? What is the mood? What are the dynamics? Where do they need to fit themselves in and be helpful? Whereas healthy kids are internally referenced. Healthy kids are thinking about what they want, what they like, what they dislike, what they're interested in. And in adulthood, you need to be very, very strongly self-referenced in order to make it in the world. You need to decide who you are, that you're going to always back yourself, and what your path is and where your place is. And I think in terms of this term like late bloomer, that might be something that takes parentified kids a bit longer to do. Discover their own strengths, discover their own viewpoint. Adulting sucks, right? We all agree on that. So when a child is introduced to all the really difficult realities of the world with no support and no cushioning, I think that often leads to growing up into a nervous, afraid person who doesn't take risks. So while other people who had healthier childhoods are taking appropriate risks, both good and bad, like a good risk being like, hey, let me try have this music career that I'm dreaming of and see what happens. And maybe a bad risk being like, oh, let's take this dangerous chance on a night out and kind of test the limits of life. I think parentified children don't really allow themselves to do that because of this feeling that if it all goes wrong, I don't run back to a parent, I am the parent. For adults who are parentified as kids, adulthood can often feel like a chance at childhood, a chance to actually not do things that you don't want to do, not take on as many responsibilities. You're just stripping all these layers of like adaptive behaviors and fears and things of your parts of yourself that you hid. And I think once you kind of get to a point where you know who you are after all of that is when you feel like you can take the reins of your life as an adult, which then gets confused with being a late bloomer.